Picture this. The alarm goes off, and before your eyes are even fully open, the pressure is already there. That tight feeling in your chest, the silent list of problems waiting for you. And what's the first thing most people do? They reach for their phone. In seconds, the world takes over, news shapes your mood, social media questions your worth, emails decide your priorities. And just like that, you've already lost the day before it even begins. But here's the truth most people never realize. You don't wake up tired, you wake up unprotected. You hand your mind away before you even claim it. We all say we want success, peace, freedom, but we start the day in submission. What if your morning isn't just a routine, but a battlefield, a sacred space, a blank canvas? And here's the Stoic principle. If you don't take control of your mind first, the world will do it for you. Let me ask you something. What is the very first thing that touches your mind each morning? Because that single moment quietly shapes the next 12, 16 hours of your life. In that first hour, your brain is incredibly sensitive, like wet cement. Whatever hits it first leaves a mark. And yet, most people flood it with noise, notifications, headlines, messages, other people's problems. No wonder you feel anxious before the day even begins. So here's the shift. For the first hour, you go silent. No phone, no news, no scrolling, just you and your own thoughts. Maybe a cup of coffee, maybe a quiet window. It will feel uncomfortable at first, that's normal. But that silence, that's power. Because in that space, you're not reacting, you're choosing. And when you protect your mind like that, you send a message: my peace comes first. Let me ask you honestly, how much of yesterday are you still carrying into today? The argument you had, the mistake you made, the things you wish you could undo. Most people wake up and immediately replay the past, like dragging a heavy weight into a brand new day. And then they wonder why they feel stuck. But the Stoics had a different way of seeing this. They believed that every morning is a new life, not a continuation, a reset. The person who failed yesterday, that version of you is gone. So why are you still carrying their guilt? Here's what you do instead. Take the lesson, be brutally honest about what went wrong. Learn from it, and then let it go. Not slowly, not emotionally. Cut it off. Because the past has no physical power over this moment unless you give it one. Imagine waking up with a completely clean mind, no regret, no shame, no mental baggage. That's freedom. And when you move like that, light, focused, unburdened, you don't just start your day differently, you become a different person. Let me tell you something. Most people don't want to hear your comfort might be the very thing holding you back. We live in a world where everything is designed to be easy: soft beds, perfect temperatures, food delivered to your door. And slowly, without realizing it, we train our minds to avoid anything uncomfortable. But here's the cost: the moment life gets hard, we break. The Stoics understood this deeply. They didn't run from discomfort, they practiced it. On purpose. Because discomfort is not the enemy, it's the training ground. So try this. The moment you wake up, do something hard. Step into a cold shower. Feel that shock. Your mind will panic. It will beg you to quit. or drop down and do push-ups when every part of you wants to stay in bed. And in that moment, you make a choice who's in control. Because every time you choose discomfort, you build strength. You prove to yourself that you don't run from difficulty, you face it. And once you master that in the morning, the rest of the day, it gets a lot easier. Here's a hard truth. Most people don't fall apart because life is hard. They fall apart because they expected it to be easy. We wake up hoping everything will go smoothly, no traffic, no conflict, no bad news. And when reality doesn't match that expectation, frustration takes over. We react, we lose control, we feel like victims. But the Stoics did something different. Every morning, they prepared for chaos. Not with fear, but with clarity. They would sit quietly and ask, what could go wrong today? Who might test my patience? Where might I feel pressure or anger? And then they decide in advance how they will respond. Think about that. If you already expect the challenge, it can't shock you. If you've already chosen your reaction, you don't panic, you execute. So tomorrow morning, try this. Run the day in your mind before it begins. See the obstacles and see yourself handling them calmly, deliberately. Because when nothing surprises you, everything becomes manageable. And that's real control. Let me ask you this, how many things are you trying to do today? 10. 20. Yet, by the end of the day, it feels like nothing truly moved forward. That's not because you're lazy, it's because your focus is scattered. Your mind is jumping from one task to another, reacting, not leading. And that's the trap of modern life, being busy without being effective. The Stoics had a powerful solution: singular focus. Instead of chasing everything, you choose one thing. Just one. The one task that, if completed, would make your day a win. Not 10 priorities. One clear mission. Write it down. Make it visible. Let it guide your decisions throughout the day. Because when distractions show up, and they will, you now have something to come back to. A direction. A purpose. Think of it like a North Star. Without it, you drift. With it, every step has meaning. And when you master focus like this, you stop being busy and start being powerful. Let me challenge the way you think about success for a second. Most people wake up asking, what do I need to achieve today? More money, better results, more progress. But here's the problem: when you focus only on outcomes, you create pressure. And pressure turns into anxiety when those results don't come fast enough. The Stoics flipped this completely. They didn't start with outcomes, they started with identity. They asked, who am I going to be today? Not hope, but decision. So instead of saying, I hope I stay focused, you say, I am a focused person. Instead of I hope I stay calm, you say, I am calm under pressure. And then you act like it, no negotiation. Because when your actions match your identity, something powerful happens. You build self-respect. Real confidence. Not the loud kind, but the quiet kind that doesn't shake. And over time, the results you were chasing, they show up naturally because you became the kind of person who earns them. Let me ask you something most people avoid. What would change if you truly understood that your time is limited? Not someday, but actually felt it today. Because the truth is, we live like we have endless tomorrows. We delay the hard decisions, we hold grudges, we stay comfortable. And slowly, we waste the one thing we can never earn back: time. The Stoics practiced something powerful: memento mori. Remember that you will die. Not to scare themselves, but to wake up. Just 60 seconds each morning. Imagine your time running out. Imagine this day actually matters. And suddenly the small things lose their grip. The awkward conversation doesn't matter. The fear of judgment, meaningless. What matters becomes clear. You stop procrastinating. You drop the ego. You act. Because when you realize life is finite, you don't shrink, you move with urgency. You speak honestly. You take chances. You live fully. And that awareness, it doesn't make life darker, it makes it real. Here's a question most people never stop to ask: how much of your stress is coming from things you can't even control? The economy, other people's opinions, your boss's mood, the past you wish you could change. And yet, we wake up trying to manage all of it, and that's where the suffering begins. The Stoics drew a clear line. There are things you control and things you don't. That's it. And your power comes from knowing the difference. So every morning, take a moment and name what's out of your hands. Picture it clearly and then let it go. Not halfway. Fully. Because holding on to it won't change it, it only drains you. Now shift your focus, your effort, your integrity, your response. That's your territory. And when you live like that, something changes. You stop fighting reality. You become flexible, steady, unshaken. Like water moving around obstacles instead of crashing into them. That's real peace. Not when life is perfect, but when you are.